Hi, and welcome to my series of videos, Guide to Capsim Business Simulation. If you're watching this, it probably means that you are about to begin your business simulation. I hope that you are about and not in the middle and just now you're starting to study, because if you are, it might make things a little bit harder than they're supposed to be. So let's begin with a quick introduction in case you are totally new to the simulation or to the game. There are 6 identical companies which are competing in the sensor industry. They are, apart from the name, they have the exact same properties, same product, same sales, same market share, stock price. Everything is completely identical. The game lasts for a duration of 8 rounds, where each round signifies 1 year in game time. There are 5 different segments or different products where they have different properties, customer preferences, price point, market demand. Everything is different and we treat them accordingly. And you are running the show, meaning that you control all aspects of a company, where the main aspects are R&D, research and development. This is also the topic on which we are going to focus on in the upcoming videos. Marketing, production, and the last part is finance. Before we continue, I would like to introduce myself for a bit. My name is Dror Chashai. I'm an electrical engineer and I'm a PMP certified project manager. This is also what I do in real life in my day job. I have an MBA in business management, which I completed a few years ago. This is where I first encountered this course. I really liked it for the first time. I started with it and I studied really hard and I also did quite well. And after I finished the course, I went on to compete in the Capsim challenge and I finished second place in the world. Sadly, I got really nervous and I did a few mistakes that I shouldn't have. And even though I was close, I finished only second. Despite that, overall, it was a very positive experience. And if you enjoy the simulation, and I hope that you will, I highly recommend that you do it. Ever since, I had the opportunity to help many fellow students which asked me questions or asked me for advice. So over the time, I put on a few sources for you to use. One of them is a complete guide on Reddit, which is of course free because it's Reddit. You are more than welcome to read it. And if you find it useful, you can put on upvote, follow, or whatever people are doing on Reddit where they like something. Also, if you're more of a visual learner, I have a video course which is published on Udemy, which covers everything that you need to know in order to succeed and do well in this simulation. I put a lot of thought and effort into that, and occasionally I also put on extra content whenever I get interesting questions or topics that I think that should be added. So all the time it gets a little bit better. And also, if you want to reach out and ask me questions or want to give feedback, I'm very easy to reach. You can find me on Facebook, on LinkedIn. There are links to everything I just mentioned in the details below in the description. So if you want to reach out, you are more than welcome. So let's get back to the simulation. Let's talk a bit about the general approach. In most simple terms, what you want to do is to maintain a line of products which meets the customer demands. You want to give the customers exactly what they want, and as a result, they will buy from you rather than your competitors. So this is what we are going to do in the R&D. In the upcoming videos, we are going to talk about this in depth. Next is that you want to build your company for the later rounds. You want in the first few rounds to make strong and early investments. This means that you are not supposed to worry about price, stock price, about sales, market share, balanced scorecard. You don't care about any of this or whatever the professor is thinking about you. You care about building the foundations for the later rounds where it actually counts. So you want in the beginning to introduce new products, you want to increase automation, you want to invest in quality management and invest in the human capital so your company will perform better than your competitors. And even if it means going into debt, then that is what you will do. And the last part is to plan ahead. Don't mean that you need to know exactly what is going to happen all the way up to round 8, because this is impossible, the game is dynamic, but you do need to have a clear vision of what you want to achieve in the next at least 1 or 2 rounds ahead. So if you're playing within a team, which is usually going to be the case, you should discuss things among yourself, agree on a strategy and how you are going to implement it. If you will do so, it will make everyone's lives a little bit easier. So let's do a quick recap before we end this video. There are several parts in several decisions in the decision-making process. The first is the R&D, the research and development. This is what we are going to focus on today. This is where you maintain your line of products, you make adjustments every round in order to make sure that customers always get what they want. Also, here is where you introduce new products. In the marketing, you are controlling the price, the promotional and sales budgets, and also you do one of the most important and definitely the hardest part in the entire simulation, which is the forecast. This is where you estimate how many units you are going to sell per each product. The next part is the production. This is where you actually produce your products and you maintain your production lines. And the last part, as the name implies, this is the finance, where you gain capital and finance all of the expenses of your company. So I hope that this quick introduction made sense, and I will see you in the next videos where we will talk more in depth about the R&D.